What's up, everyone? What's up? Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I go by Zombie. I'm very passionate about spirituality, specifically astrology, and one of my goals of this channel is just to be able to show people how, is to be able to show people how spirituality and self-improvement really go hand in hand. And so if you're interested in any of that, then go ahead and hit that subscribe, and without further ado, let's hop right in. So in this series, I've been running through the 12 signs of the zodiac. The ninth sign is Sagittarius. And if you were born from November 22nd to December 21st, then you are considered a Sagittarius. And so Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter. Now in astrology, all that means is a Sagittarius person, right? Basically personifies the energy that's associated with the planet Jupiter, right? So in astrology, Jupiter is considered a benefic planet, right? Generally is considered the planet of abundance. And so Sagittarius people might seem very lucky, but that's just because they are very naturally optimistic, right? And they can see, all sides of situation most of the time, and that can make them very good at solving problems also, very good at finding, the silver lining in situations. And so they can usually figure out, their way through most things, and that makes them pretty independent. Jupiter is also considered the planet of expansion because it's the biggest planet of all, the planets in our solar system. And so with that, Sagittarius, they can likewise have a very exuberant personality, very, very big egos sometimes, right? Sometimes they can lead to overindulgence also. But that's just a quick rundown of Jupiter. I'm gonna do a separate series on the planets and the houses as well. But for the sake of this video, moving right along, Sag is the ruler of the ninth house, right? It's a sign that occupies the ninth house. The ninth house in astrology simply just refers to, again, optimism, long distance travel. Most definitely Sagittarius people love to travel. So long distance travel is definitely a part of the ninth house, experiences, right? Your life experiences, what you go through, which is anything, not like good, bad, just experiences in general, right? Definitely a heavy ninth house energy because Sagittarius, as a sign, usually learns from their experiences, right? And, because of that, wisdom is also associated with the ninth house, as well as higher forms of learning. So on the opposite side of the zodiac, right, you have Gemini, and they also love to learn as well. But with Gemini, you might think grade school, or like, you feel me, really localized. You might think more localized, or you would look at it more localized, even though, again, they like to experience things as well. Sag is definitely more that broader, more expansive perspective, and they like to travel and learn from their experiences as they do so. So moving right along, I know it was a mouthful, my bad. Moving right along, though, to the duality. Sagittarius as a fire sign is naturally more masculine. Yes, even though you are a girl, or even though you might be a girl as a Sagittarius, you most likely, portray yourself in a more masculine way, and that is just because that is just the nature of the element of fire. Fire and air are, naturally more masculine. Fire is divine masculinity, so even more so. Even though, again, as an individual, everyone has natural levels of feminine and masculine energy. Again, as a fire sign, you're going to be naturally more masculine. So that's that for the duality. Now, the mode and the element. In astrology, there's three modes. You have mutable, cardinal, and fixed, and you have four elements: fire, air, earth, and water. So mutable basically just means adaptable, changeable, right? Resourceful. The mutable signs are usually the most, resourceful signs. They are the most resourceful signs out of the bunch. And fire can be seen as, drive, passion, willpower. Willpower, asserting yourself, aggression, right? Dominance, very domineering, very masculine in essence. And so also, before I even like move on again, I also want to say, I also want to throw creativity I also want to throw creativity in there too, because even though water signs are seen as, really creative naturally, fire signs are definitely really creative as well, and can be artistic, like really artistic to a degree as well. So I just want to throw that in there. So basically, when you put it together with Sag, you get someone who is, very idealistic, but can be very changeable in their ideals, which can lead to inconsistency. And because Sagittarius love to experience, right, they can often start one thing and then, be quick to go to something else, right, just for the sake of the experience, right? And so most definitely as a Sag, you have to learn to slow down and just enjoy, and appreciate the process, because that's where you really learn, and that's where you really grow, and that's when you can really expand like you want to. And so the body part associated with Sag, are the hips and the thighs. So yes, if you are a girl and you're a Sagittarius, that and you have thicker hips, or thicker thighs, that might be why. If you're a guy, shit, whatever, that might be why. But also, you could be prone to hip or thigh issues, or just, your not upper body, but like upper lower body in general. So be mindful of that. The chakra associated with Sagittarius energy, I have the solar plexus. It's not the only one, of course, but I have the solar plexus because I feel like it's probably the most powerful chakra for Sagittarius, because again, as a fire sign, and as like that archetypal seek and find, energy that is Sag, that is Jupiter. The solar plexus, being the chakra that is heavily responsible for your willpower and your drive and your desire. I feel like I feel like that is, I feel like that is the most powerful chakra for them to draw on, if it's balanced, right? Of course, because you have to balance your chakras out, most definitely. And if you have any blockages or anything like that, anything holding you back mentally, you definitely have to clear / accept / let go of all of that. But most definitely the solar plexus for Sag. So the colors I have listed, the typical colors associated with Sagittarius energy would be like, a red, but a darker red. So, like a burgundy or a maroon. And, similar to just red in general, a very stimulating color, very stimulating energy, similar to that of Sagittarius. But the darker red also promotes thoughtfulness, most definitely also promotes thoughtfulness, and and kind of like a deeper insight, especially with navy blue. I guess that's definitely more on the navy blue side, the insight. But hues of blue, especially darker blues, can definitely help you with not only insight, but also communication, most definitely. So like if you have LED lights, right? So there's this thing called color therapy. If you don't know, if you have LED lights, or you should, if you don't, buy some LED lights. And depending on what your sign is, just try changing the color of the lights to like any of the colors I have listed on, any of these presentations, and just see how that affects your overall mood as like a little experiment. Because, and I'm to not get too far off topic, but everything is most definitely hands-on in life. And again, that's the Sagittarius way, right? You learn by doing. And even with astrology, you can read books and all of this, but I've been studying / practicing astrology for a couple years now, and most of what I know is just come from me, just paying attention to people around me and the world around me, more than like any book, even though books are of course highly informative, so and a good place to start. So but to keep it pushing, all right, the crystal / gemstone associated with Sag, the main ones are blue topaz and wolfenite. Blue topaz is really good for excuse me. My bad, that has to wake me up. But blue tophi and tophi, what the fuck? Blue topaz and wolfenite are two stones that are really good for Sagittarius energy, and especially like bringing out that creativity, but also balancing out, again, like I said, that solar plexus chakra to help keep you driven. And I cannot talk today. Blue topaz is really good for keeping your throat chakra balanced and speaking your truth, because honesty is a very, and having a strong moral compass is definitely very important, right? I would say if you're a Sagittarius, because naturally, the water signs, of course, are very spiritual, but Sagittarius, I would also throw in there as one of the more spiritual signs. So, staying true to yourself is definitely really important, and the throat chakra plays a big part in that. So, blue topaz and wolfenite. Moving right along, character traits I have. Some of the positives, right, are independence, right? Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius people, very independent individuals. If they can, they'll go it alone, and that they'll be satisfied with that. They really, not to say they don't like help, but again, like, they generally are, competent enough to figure things out on their own. So very independent, very optimistic, very open-minded. Again, Sages have a knack for being able to see things from different perspectives, similar to, their opposition Gemini on the other side, but definitely a broader perspective with Sag, and more of a big picture oriented focus. So I also put humorous on here because they are very funny. I'm not gonna lie. If you know a Sag, they are naturally pretty funny people. Can't take that away from them at all. So, but so on the negative side, I have arrogance, because again, Jupiter being the planet of expansion, and fire in itself, the essence of fire is always associated with the ego. And not to say that fire signs are always egocentric or egotistical, but they do have like a natural understanding of themselves and their own needs. But that can become arrogance, especially when you start to value what you know, or what you think or your skills, over other people, or compare yourself to other people because of these things, right? So that can make you very arrogant, if you are a Sagittarius, right? So don't be arrogant, be humble, bro. Like all the fire signs, like to all the fire signs, but especially like, Sag, like be humble, bro, be humble. Because arrogance could definitely be your downfall. Now, exaggerative, I put that on here because Sagittarius can over-exaggerate. If you know a Sag, then they will over-exaggerate in a heartbeat, just for the sake of attention sometimes, right, if they're telling a story. But you got to be careful, because, there's a fine line between just doing it to be funny and, like, really lying and turning situations like into a whole other ordeal. So be careful with that, if you're a Sag and you do like to over exaggerate sometimes. Now, inconsistency is a big thing, because again, they do like new experiences, and just because they like starting new things, that doesn't necessarily mean that they see them through all the time. And that is something that you do have to work on, and that is a part of you that you will grow and fine tune, right, as you grow as a Sagittarius, that willpower and that drive. But most of the times it'll come more or less naturally. However, again, wanting to start new things can definitely make you inconsistent at the end of the day. So always focus on seeing things through, most definitely, if you are a Sag, and stay true to yourself and see things through to the end, right? That goes for anyone watching this, but again, Sag especially, because you can do great things, most definitely. But that was Sag energy. Next, I'm gonna be breezing through Capricorn. So I'll see y'all there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, comment, and I'm out. Peace.